Week 6 matchup. The Philadelphia Eagles start their 3-game road trip by going to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings.
We got the Eagles. We got the Sixers. Philly talk.
What's going on, everybody? Philly Mike here. And we got a great Week 6 matchup to start our 3-game road trip. The Minnesota Vikings are 3-2, just like the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's important. It's an NFC matchup. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings hate us because we took almost everything from them. You know what I mean? We destroyed their hopes, made them lose their quarterback, made them go out and sign Kirk Cousins. If it wasn't for us whooping them 38-7, they would have never went out there and pulled a trigger and paid this man all this money to be a bum. Anyways, every time I think of the Minnesota Vikings, I still remember when they came to our house in the NFC Championship game and did the skull, dumbass, whatever you want to call it, the skull chant on the Rocky Stairs. You know what I'm saying? They all lined up, decided to do that. They tried to put Minnesota Vikings scarf and apparel on the Rocky statue. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake, because then we gave you a much harder time than we give the average fan. And what did you guys do? You guys went home crying. Oh, Philly's so mean to us. Oh, Philly's so mean. Of course. What do you think? Any city, any football team city is going to take care of theirs, especially when they see you just disrespecting that. So posting on social media and whatnot, it's still floating around. Like I said, you can't come to Philly and disrespect us and think you're going to get away with it. That's not going to happen. Now let's get back to the football game. Let's look at some numbers. So the Minnesota Vikings offensive stats, right now, they average 22.4 points per game. That ranks 16th in the NFL. Yards, total yards on offense, they average 357.4. That ranks 18th in the NFL. Just through the air, the passing yards per game, they average 191. That's where they haven't been doing it. Every game they win, they've been winning via the ground. They only pass for 191 yards through the air through 5 games on average, and that's 29th in the NFL. I think our secondary is still going to be tested, even though they're so bad at the passes because they didn't have to. I think this game they're going to have to, because you know how we do against the run, but we'll get into that in a little. So last but not least, the rushing attack. They average 166.4 yards on the ground. That ranks 3rd in the NFL, and it's all on the back of Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook's been balling. What can I say? He's been balling, you know. And the Eagles kind of wanted him, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. On the defensive end, their defense is pretty stingy, I ain't going to lie. And they do play better at home. Right now, they only been averaging against them 14.6 points per game. That's 5th in the NFL. Total offense, total yards against them, averagely, is 292.4, which is 4th in the NFL. Just the passing yards against them, averagely, is 204.2, which is 6th in the NFL. And then this is where they're least good, but still in the top 10. They only allow 88.2 yards on the ground against them, and that ranks 9th. So you see their defense and everything is 5th in points, 4th in total yards, 6th through the air, and 9th on the ground. Their defense is no slouch. So this is a big test to us just getting on the right path on offense and running the ball and passing the ball with conviction. You know what I'm saying? With conviction. Don't get it twisted. It's not like they've been playing against these top-ranked offenses and shutting them down. They did play against some stagnant offenses that could inflate their numbers a little bit, but that defense is still solid and respectable. Some of the teams I was talking about was they played against the Bears, who's not really offensively threatening teams. The Falcons week 1 when they were in shambles. The Giants without Saquon. So they played against some teams that their defense can get these stats. Some of the things I've been looking at on tape, the Minnesota Vikings haven't been blitzing a lot. But against the Giants, they started throwing these blitzes left and right. So they were getting at Daniel Jones and just smacking him. So I can see them definitely using the big blitz package against us. Not like they did in the first 3 to 4 weeks of the season. They just started doing that last week, heavy. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that how we're gonna beat them is by making Kirk Cousins win the game. Now, Kirk Cousins is hit or miss. Sometimes he comes out hot, and a lot of times he comes out flat. But the thing that rattles Kirk Cousins the most is a pass rush. I mean, it can rattle any quarterback, don't get me wrong, but we know we've been playing Kirk Cousins for a while. If you start smacking that boy around, he just throws the ball right to you. He'll just throw it right to you. He definitely will. And all their wins, like I said, it came on the back of Dalvin Cook. And the one thing the Eagles do, almost better than anybody, win the top 3 against the run. We do not allow people to run on us. So that's what we got to do. We got to shut the run down early, which makes them one-dimensional. And even though our secondary is a little bit, a lot beaten up, if we make them one-dimensional, we know they're going to pass the ball and we can get at them. And so our corners only got to hold up for a little bit because of vicious pass rush. I know we're not going to come out and get 10 sacks like we did against the Jets. I know that. But I'm saying if we harass Cousins all day, make his life miserable back there. Meaning, even if we don't get the sack, get a hit, rough him up, get in his head. He is scared little boy sometimes. That's what we got to do. We got to scare the crap out of him. So I'm saying if we do that, I think we'll be all right. Like I said, though, even though we're good at stopping the run, Dalvin Cook is, him and McCaffrey 1 and 2 this year. They've been something else. So we still can't just think, oh yeah, we good against the run. We don't got to worry about it. Another thing I did read is, even though the Philadelphia Eagles are good against the run, we do allow runner backs to catch out the backfield on us, which I did my homework. Other than Thielen, it's crazy. Dalvin Cook's been catching the ball a lot this year. I think he's 1 or 2 receptions away from Stephon Diggs, as possibly about to pass him to be the second leading catcher on the Vikings team or something along them lines. That's not good because, like I said, we do struggle stopping catching backs. But if we can shut down a run and force Cousins to beat us, I think we got the game. I think we can manage this, and I think we can come out with a big victory. Now, last but not least, I'm going to talk about offense. Our offense has been struggling, and this is the game we need to change that narrative all the way around. All the way around. We don't got Deshaun Jackson, and we don't know when he's going to be back. Possibly Dallas, possibly not. We got to play without him right now. For us to win this game, I want to start out fast, strong, and efficient. Simple and plain. On the road, hostile environment. I told you guys that Minnesota hates us. You know that. I know that. So we got to start early. We can't let that crowd get us out of our rhythm. The main thing I want to see, Doug Peterson commit to the run. You saw what it did against Green Bay. Yes, it was a bad rush defense. Minnesota's not that bad. Like I told you, it's a top 10, number 9 in the NFL. But still, run the ball. Just run it. Minnesota hasn't played a lot of teams that wanted to keep running the ball. You know, Atlanta wanted to pass. Green Bay wanted to pass. New York Giants wanted to pass because no Saquon. So even though they're 10th, we don't really know how they are. And Jordan Howard is a bull. They're going to come out and try to run the ball on us, and we got to do the same. We got to come out here and run the ball down their throats. Up the middle, up the gut, off the tackles. That's what we got to do. It's going to open it up for Carson Wentz. We're going to be on that turf. I want to see a big day from Alshon Jeffrey. I want to see Carson Wentz finally just put the ball up there and say, go get it, bro. Go get it. Just go get it. That Alshon Jeffrey, I know that he has in him. I know he got that in him. I want to see us move the ball with conviction. Like I said earlier, conviction. It's crazy. We're like one of the best teams on third down, but we still struggle with early penalties and early setbacks. Like I said, one thing I read was in the last 11 trips the Eagles had in the red zone, we scored 10 touchdowns. So the last 11 times we were down here, we scored 10 touchdowns. We need to continue that same power, that same drive we have when we get into the red zone against the Minnesota Vikings. No matter what their defense is showing us, that's what we got to do. So to break it all down real quick one more time, run the ball. I want to see at least 25 to 28 runs for the runner backs, preferably Jordan, and then a little bit of Miles Sanders. I want to see Alshon Jeffrey have a signature game and get involved. And I want to see Carson Wentz just move the ball down the field consistently. And I want to see some deep threats. If we hit on them, good. But even if we don't hit on them, I want to see it. I want that defense to know that we are going to go down the field on you regardless. So you better watch it. Better stop playing up. Because they stop playing up, it opens up the middle for Zach Ertz and Nelson Aguilar, you know. And like I said, run the ball. That's going to help open it up. But what also is going to open up for the big play is a couple dump-offs. When I say dump-offs, I mean wide receiver screens, runner back screens, little screens, things to get them guessing, and then take it over the top, straight up. You know, I got the Philadelphia Eagles winning this game. My prediction for the score is 27-23 Philly. You heard it here. I got the Philadelphia Eagles going into Minnesota and winning 27-23. All right, that's all I got for today. Like I said, don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think the score is going to be. Yeah, go Eagles. We out.